Baba Shuaib, the correctional officer, born in Accra, Ghana, a Quranic researcher and a critical thinker based on religion, who does online lectures based on the guidance of the Quran on platforms such as Facebook, YouTube and TikTok since 2018. In Finland, and 13 years, QBE, in Classical Arabic and MSA in Quranic Arabic. The author of the Refer to the Quran, which helps every novice to understand the steps towards understanding the great Quran and the guidance of God in it. Baba Shuaib, the correctional officer, born in Accra, Ghana, a Quranic researcher and a critical thinker based on religion, who does online lectures based on the guidance of the Quran on platforms such as Facebook, YouTube and TikTok since 2018. In Finland, and 13 years, QBE, in Classical Arabic and MSA in Quranic Arabic. The author of the Refer to the Quran, which helps every novice to understand the steps towards understanding the great Quran and the guidance of God in it.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Peace be upon you all. Let me see. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. This is Baba Shuaib, the correctional officer. I'm streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, right? Simultaneously. So I'm streaming live from 4 platforms, right? Yeah. So let me give some shout outs to all those who are here from Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, right? For those on Facebook and YouTube, we have Abdul Majid, we have Abdullah Abbas, we have Tariq Ayub, Rashid, Sobriety, we have Talib, Just Bina, Sister Bina, I see you. We have Creation Africa, salam to you, Dangana, Abu Sise, Mubarak Abdullah, S. Faraj. Yeah, brother Kamal, I see you. Kamal, Kamke, Alam Shah, brother, I see you. Peace. Abu Bakr Mohammed Tijani. We have Isaac says, yeah, I see you. Hey, Bilal, I see you, blow. Bilal Jibril. Salman Wahid. Sister Diana Nebrona. Yeah, Rashitek Africa. Sister Zainab Kaisar, yeah. I see Abdul Samad. Yes, I see you, brother. Naganka, Abdul Samad. Mana, Aulad. Baba Saidu, I see you. Salam. Abu Bakr Mohammed Tijani. Yes, I see you. Somebody's name is Bring Your Proof. Nazir NSC, Sophia Peters, and Mustafa Haider. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate your presence and your support. Thank you. For those on, let me see. For those on TikTok, I have for those on TikTok, we have Is it Miss Artis UK? Is it Artistry UK? Yeah, I see you. You are here. Yes, I see. Is it Hiroshina Adebayo? Yeah, God bless you too. Uh, I'm mainly going to talk about the month of Ramadan, right? Uh, and I think after I speak about the most important part, I might be giving chance for question and answers, right? People can ask questions pertaining to the month of Ramadan. And also, I might be tackling someone's video, a short video that I was sent. I might be tackling that video today, right? So mainly, let's say we are talking about Ramadan. Yes. So a monologue. Okay. Yeah, Hamdan and so on. Yeah, thank you all for coming. Kadi, is it Kadimu Yanks? Thank you, thank you. I appreciate your presence, Nazir NSC, all of you. I see you, Imam Taj, Jaragari. I see you, Shayawu Madugu, Daybreak, Yusuf Jamiu, Odupom Black. Yes, Odupom Black. A long time, bro. Long time, bro. Long time, long time. One love. Mohammed Mubarak. I see you. Salam. Somebody says only the truth. I love you, Baba. But take some up level. Yeah. Hey, Salis Jimmy, I see you. Salam. Aha. Well, thank you all. I appreciate your presence because I can see now the audience are getting bigger and bigger, and I appreciate that. It means the effort I put in what I do has not been futile. So it's yeah. Okay. So now, mostly when I'm streaming live, I think my stream on Instagram is somewhat delaying, is backwards, right? So that is why mostly I don't pay much attention to the Instagram feed. But I don't know if because I'm streaming simultaneously from different locations, so maybe it might pull the strength of the network or something. But yeah, I wish I could give the same attention to those on Instagram as well, but this is what we have for now. Nick Hazimin, yes, thank you all for those joining. Those I mention your name, those I'm not able to mention your name, I apologize, but thank you all for coming. I appreciate your presence, right? And I thank you for the support as well, right? So thank you all. Yeah, Raf, I see you. I see you all, right? Odupom Black, a number one fan. I appreciate that, bro. Yes, I know. Yes, thank you for those on TikTok for the gift also. I appreciate that. I see you all, Sister Hannah, Sister Yuki, Sister Mervan. Is a brother Mervan, yes. I say Dunia Ina Mambo TV, yes. And yes, brother Hassan, I see you. Peace. Long time, bro. I see you, bro. Okay. Let's move on for today, right? Before I start, as usual, you people already know this person. Like I tag him as a clown, but I saw a video. I chanced up a video of him, and I want to address the video before we go on to the lectures for today. And like I said, somewhat, I feel a bit sluggish. Yeah, I don't know why, but let's see if my energy will pick up, right? Then we would talk about some relevant aspect of the month of Ramadan. Then I'll be giving chance for the question and answer, the quick Q&A, where I'll give people the chance to ask questions. And from here, if my energy allows me, I'll jump to TikTok. So I'll be on TikTok mainly, but this time around not for so long, because we are in the month of Ramadan. So I have to, get something to eat and other things, right? So yes. Anyway, so let me play the video of this clown. He's a Sunni clown. Let me start with the video of the clown first. Right? So where did I save the video? Let me see. Yes. I start with the video. I think 2 videos from the clown. So for those on TikTok, you get to hear the video.
Do not pray at all are not Muslims. If you do not pray at all, not a single salah, you are a kafir. Even if you say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah 1,000 times a day and perform Hajj and fast Ramadan and give zakat, if you do not pray at all, you are a kafir. This is the Prophet's fatwa, not mine, alayhi salatu wasalam. If you pray on and off, you're a hypocrite. Because Allah described in the Quran, in chapter 9, Surah At-Tawbah, those who are lazy to pray, but they pray. They are hypocrites.
Yeah. So this is my way I invite to Allah by perception, I and whoever follows me, and glory be to Allah, for I am not among the idolaters, right? Salam to all of you coming, Abu Thomas and all of you, Dexter, all of you. Thank you for coming. Ali Yari, yes. So this is the clown I was talking about. His name is Asim Al Hakim. He's a Sunni, right? Right? He's a Sunni. So he's the clown I'm talking about. This guy charges people about $100 for half an hour consultation, and he claims he's not a scholar, right? But he's always the forefront of trying to give people fatwa, pass on judgments, pass on legislations, and so on. So this guy, Asim Al Hakim, let's analyze what he just said from this video. But I'll be playing a video after this, a video he made after this, right? We are going to tackle on that. But let's listen to this video. So I break it down.
Those who do not pray at all are not Muslims.
So he says those who do not pray at all are not Muslims, right? So if we isolate the statement he said, pray, just pray, I don't think there's any entity in this universe or on this earth who does not pray, right? So when you use the word pray, it's an act of communicating with a deity, right? Supplicate, like your communication with a deity. So if you say those who do not pray at all are not Muslims, right? If we have to base the statement around, like to base it in the context around the statement he just made, there's a problem. Because even according to the Quran, the devil prayed to God. He prayed to God to respite him until the day of judgment, right? It might be a plea, it might be a supplication, yes, but God answered it. Because in Quran chapter 40, verse 60, God says, Edu'uni astajib lakum. He says, invoke me and I will respond to you, right? So invocation is also an act of prayer, right? But in this statement, the way he was saying, those who do not pray at all, because God has showed us several instances in the Quran whereby even people who claim they are atheists, disbelievers, who don't believe in God, when there's a misfortune or calamity about to happen, they do invoke God. They say, oh my God. You pay attention around you. Anybody who tells you he's an atheist, you watch when a tragedy is about to strike or something. You would hear them say, oh my God. Right? So the problem is Yes, I was about to talk about that. This brother Imam Taj was saying, he says, I think he's talking about Salat. Yes, I was about to come to that. You know, just isolating Salat to reference as prayer is a problem, because prayer, like, you understand? So don't just isolate it to prayer, right? To a litany, yes, I can agree, because it's a compasses a lot of things, a combination of a lot of things you do in the litany. So it's not just prayer, just praying to God, like, oh God, I need money. Oh God, give me kids. Like, no, that's not necessarily what salat is meant for. Only, no. Of course, during your salat, you can ask for other things. You can ask God for help. We saw Zechariah, right? Quran chapter 3, verse 38 to 39. We saw Zechariah standing in his salat and he invoked God to give him a son. You can do that. But that is, you don't isolate the salat to only prayer. That's not only the aspect of salat, right? So in some instances, yes, it can be prayer, right? Yes, you can pray during your salat, but salat on its own is not limited to prayer, right? So that is why, for those who have my translation, the version I have, the translation, you see me many a times translating it as litany, right? It's a combination of praises, thanksgiving, glorification, obeisance, and so on. That gives you the category all at once, but not just, yes, there's obeisance, that's prostration, and so on, right? So just limiting it to just prayer, uh no, right? Because I can pray to God without necessarily having to bow down, or to perform like a worship, to go and do ablution. No, I can pray to God without that. So when I use the word prayer, then it means I'm actually supplicating. I can sit there here and say, God, please help me. So with that, I don't need to go and wash up and do anything, right? So in that sense, it's also a prayer, right? So he says those who do not pray at all. So let's assume we understand the context of what he's saying. So he's trying to say those who do not perform salat at all, right? So this again goes back to the video I did concerning Hoblos, and then Akhi Ayman, and so on. They keep restricting Islam to salat, like the whole of Islam, the importance of Islam. They have shrinked it to just salat. So my contention is, how can you? Yes, yeah, bro. Common sense family, Avram, I see you. Greetings. How can you uh just say salat is the most important aspect of your faith, which is prayer, but yet the God you are praying to, you don't even know about you don't know the God, you don't know anything about the God you are worshiping? How can you be serving or praying to a God you don't know? Like, you don't know anything about your God. Yeah, most of the people you see don't know God. Like, when I say know God, to know even qualities of God, what God is about, they don't know. They just pray because their scholars have told them to keep praying. uh, so this guy was saying, Abraham says, your prophet went and bargained for 5 prayers and you will still have other salat. Yeah, that's the point. They say they are according to the hadith, what people should understand is the hadith has a different prophet altogether, and to the Quran. So the Quranic prophet is a way different description to the hadith concept of prophet. So the prophet of the hadith, he went to negotiate for 50 prayers, and then he was able to bargain and got 5 prayers, right? Listen carefully. Now, these 5 salats, the prayers that the sectarians are saying, unfortunately, when he comes back on earth, they have Salat al-Jum'ah. It's not part of the 5 he went to take. They have Salat al-Eid, Salat al-Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, Salat al-Janaza, Salat. You mentioned all the salats the sectarians have created. All these salats are not part of the 5. they say he went to claim. So I don't know when was all that this other salat, revealed to the Prophet according to them. You see, but anyways, so when you take the notion of the yes, and then the salat al witr, that's the tarawih. The tarawih also. Also, they have that one. We don't know where it comes from. I don't know if it's part of the 5. The Salatul of Laylatul Qadr. They go in the night to pray Laylatul Qadr. That one also. I don't know where it comes from. Yeah, so I don't know how he got out of the 5. Maybe there is some fraction, mixed fraction or something. That's how he got extra prayers. So that's how they got all the salats, right? Okay. So according to this guy, Asim al-Hakim, he's saying that those who do not pray at all are not Muslims. So let's get to hear the context of what he's saying, right?
If you do not pray at all, not a single salah, you are a kafir.
Okay, so then now he bring the notion of salah, right? If you do not do the salah at all, you are a kafir. Now, when you hear a sectarian, a Sunni saying this, they are basing it on their 5 salat. The one Sahih Bukhari went to write for you. They said the Prophet went to the sky. For those who don't know the reference, check Sahih al-Bukhari 349. That is the reference. Sahih al-Bukhari 349. If you don't know, check it for yourself. Look it up. Go to sunnah.com. Look it up. That is the hadith. They say the Prophet went to the heavens to go and bring 50 prayers. And Moses, who is the dead man, who was dead, told Muhammad, go. So Moses happened to know Muhammad and know his people and know God more than Muhammad. That is what the hadith is telling you. I'm serious. So Moses, a dead Moses, was very, very smart. He told Muhammad, hey, Akhi, look, your people cannot do it. Oh. Go back. Go and tell God, your people, they are very lazy. Like the hadith use. Your people, you have the Sunnis and the Shias, and they are very lazy. You go back. I said they can't do it. But these same people, they have Taraweeh. They have Salatul Jummah. They have Salatul Eid. Do you mention every salat they've concocted for themselves? These same people say they cannot do the 50 prayers, but yet you have concocted a lot of salat again. Abba. Why? And out of their foolishness, some of them will say, hey, we love it, we will do it. You are going to hell if you don't know. Imagine your boss giving you working time. He say work from 12 to 6. 12 to 6. He will close the workplace after 6. You say you want to do extra work by force. Who is going to pay you? You tell me. Who is going to pay you? By force, you want to do it. So if that is the case, why did you let the Prophet go and negotiate 50 prayers? You should have left it. 50 prayers, it's a fair deal at least. You can keep doing salat all your life. So he went to negotiate for you, and still you are stressing yourself with, hey, Allah mushrikanga de kai. Let's go.
Even if you say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah 1,000 times a day.
So this is where the worst scenario starts happening. So this guy says, even if you say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah 1,000 times a day, so that means that is also useless, right? Because of salat. So keep listening to what he's saying.
And perform Hajj and fast Ramadan.
And you perform Hajj, you fast Ramadan. These same people say when you perform Hajj, all your sins are forgiven. But this same person is contradicting himself by saying that if you don't perform salat, listen, if you don't perform salat, you are not a Muslim. So it is only the salat that makes you a Muslim, according to the mushriks, the Sunnis, the Shias, all of them. That's what they say. The salat makes you a Muslim. You see the foolishness here. According to them, the salat makes you a Muslim. So it is not your faith. It is not your righteous deed. It is not what you do for God. No. Do you remember when I played this guy's video? Hoblos. Please, if you don't know the video, check on my YouTube channel. Go to Versus Scholars. Try to watch that video. Right? Hoblos said you can be a rapist, you can be a murderer, you can do everything you want. So far as you are doing salat, you are safe. And he said, if you like, become the best human being on earth. And if you don't do salat, you are useless. Somebody who commits, who rapes, who murders, who steals, who do every act of iniquity or anything is better than you because he does salat, according to Hoblos. Well, look, this kind of scholar, these people you call scholars, seriously. Well, like, like this guy Avram bin Moshe will say, there is no common sense, especially when it comes to the matters of religion. A lot of people put their senses in the box, so they don't. They only think inside the box. They don't think outside the box, right? So this is why, Baba Shuaib, I will force you to come back to your senses. I'm serious. Stop fooling yourself just because you see your scholar standing on the podium like Mufti Meng, Zakir Naik, and you think they have some eloquence or what? These guys are fooling you for years. I'm serious. For years, they've been fooling you. Yeah. They don't tell you nothing sensible from what the things they tell you because you don't question them critically. But when Baba Shuaib is talking, yeah, they should leave you to come and face me. Come, I'm waiting for you. You the mushriks. You are watching me, I know. You let me finish. I'll open the line. You come and face me. Aha. So now, listen what this guy said.
Times a day, and perform Hajj and fast Ramadan and give zakat. If you do not pray at all, you are a kafir.
So he says, even if you give zakat, you perform Hajj, you fast, so far as you don't pray at all, you are a kafir. You understand? So to them, the salat determines who a Muslim is. Like seriously. What kind of foolishness is this?
This is the Prophet's fatwa, not mine.
Now you see what they do. He says this is the Prophet's fatwa, that is the legal opinion, not his. Do you see how they play this game of chess with you? When they lie with the name of the Prophet because they know you are being indoctrinated to love the Prophet blindly. I'm serious. When I use the word blindly, yes, you love him blindly. I'm serious because they made you love the Prophet from the Hadith books, not the one from the Quran. The Prophet from the Hadith books, the one who married the CCSO girl, that's the one you love. The one from the Quran never married the CCSO girl. Yes, I'm serious. So they will put these lies in your face and then tell you, oh, the Prophet said it. Akhi, I didn't say it. The Prophet, Nabi. This is what they do. Now look.
If you pray on and off, you're a hypocrite. Because
if you pray on and off, you are a hypocrite. So he is giving you the description. Yet we are yet to see the reference. He never gave any reference where we can find this statement where the Prophet said. We don't find it. He just keep on and on going.
Allah described in the Quran in chapter 9, Surah At-Tawbah, those who are lazy to pray, but they pray.
Oh, those who are lazy to pray, but they pray. I thought you said whoever does not pray at all is not a Muslim. So now somebody who is praying also, you are saying that what? He's a hypocrite. So what? I don't get it. You said if the person doesn't pray at all, listen to the English. He says anybody who doesn't pray at all is not a Muslim. So you use the word at all to base an emphasis there. So meaning at least if the person prays, he's a Muslim. Do you get my point? He said it. I'm not saying it. Use people's words to hold them accountable. Don't just listen like a sheeple. Yeah.
They are hypocrites. Those who do not pray at all are not Muslims.
Did you hear the statement? Those who do not pray at all, he used the word at all, are not Muslims. So what if they pray somehow? What are they? Magicians? Or what? Journalists? Or what are they? You ask this guy, if you take Quran chapter 18 verse 9 and read up to verse 21, the youth who slept in the cave for 309 years when people were assuming they were dead, it means they missed prayer for 309 years, right? So what do they become? According to Asim al-Hakim, what should they become? They are going to hell, or? Well, these are the scholars for you. The same guy who said, I drink beer. The same people who tell you because the beer is coming from Saudi Arabia, so he's halal. That's what he said. I have the video here. Let me play the video. He's a guy who said, I drink beer. And the beer is from Saudi Arabia, so it is halal. Where is he? Let me play the video for you. Now listen.
I drink beer, and I'm proud of that. But the beer I drink, before you quote me for that, is from Saudi Arabia, and it has like 2%, maybe 3% alcohol. And it's legal, and it's halal. One says, oh, it has alcohol. Akhi, if I drink half a pack, nothing happens. I drink beer, and I'm proud of that.
So he's the guy who told you he drinks beer, and he's proud of it, right? That is Asim al-Hakim. He drinks beer, and he's proud of it. And just because he's coming from Saudi Arabia, that beer is halal. He says 2%, 3%. He says, if I drink 6-pack, nothing happens. And he's proud of it. So this guy is going around the world giving fatwa. So listen, he's going to confess about drinking the beer. Listen what he said.
However, this is not our question. Did you, Sheikh Asim, say 2% to 3% in a drink is permissible because it does not waste? Yes, I did. Do you still stand by this? No, I don't. What do you mean? Akhi, when I talk about Islamic issues, I don't talk from my own self. I'm not a scholar. I don't come up and think, yeah, I think this is halal, this is haram.
Hey, Allah, these people, they are comedians. So, So this same guy who charges $100 for consultation, he says he's not a scholar. So he says, when he's asked questions, he doesn't say, I think. Hey, these mushriks, we are going to hold you accountable by your own words. I'm serious. You drink beer and you are proud of it because it's coming from Saudi Arabia, so he's halal. Really? Okay. And yet you are telling other people from other countries they shouldn't drink beer. It's haram, right? Really? Is that so? Okay. Now let's go to his next video. Before I talk about Ramadan, let's play his next video. He said something, and I just want to place some emphasis on what he said. This is the video.
So, from Germany.
You see the video in the beginning. In the beginning of the video, it says offering counseling sessions. He has a PayPal account. The PayPal says paypal.me/Asim al-Hakim. And he charges $100 for half an hour consultation. This guy says he's not a scholar. Yeah? This guy. He said he's not a scholar. So what counseling is he going to give you? He's an agent. He's going to give you legal opinion. Somebody who is not a scholar. But he's charging you $100 for half an hour. So imagine when he becomes a scholar, how much he will charge you. You don't think twice. Because he's dressed nicely. Because he's... Hey. Okay. So let's listen.
CD from Germany, he says that there are people who, when you talk to them about haram things in the Sunnah, they reject it and they say, no, as long as it's not mentioned in the Quran, we do not believe in it. This is very dangerous. And such people risk being an apostate, depending on the degree of their rejection. If they say we don't believe in the Sunnah totally, and anything that is not in the Quran, we do not believe in it, these are kafir, disbelievers, because they disbelieve in the Quran. So many imbeciles, wallahi, so many ignorant people, that you feel so ashamed while speaking to them, feel so sorry for them, and they're so proud of themselves. Yes, we don't believe except in the Quran. The Quran is the word of Allah. Allah revealed it to Muhammad ﷺ, preserved it. We believe nothing except in it. Excuse me, have you ever read the Quran? Oh, no, sorry, I don't know Arabic. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. And you're coming to discuss something of the principles of Islam, simply out of your whims and desires? Don't you know that in the Quran Allah says, وَأَطِيعُ اللَّهِ وَأَطِيعُ الرَّسُولِ, obey Allah and obey the Prophet ﷺ. How to obey the Prophet? How to obey Allah Azza wa Jal? First of all. So yeah, we have to obey Allah. How? So by reading the Quran, this is Allah's words. Good. How to obey the Prophet ﷺ? By obeying the Quran, because the Quran was revealed to him. Excuse me, it's the same thing. Obeying the Quran, the Prophet ﷺ, is by believing in the Sunnah. So if you do not believe in the Sunnah and you say, no, music is not mentioned in the Quran, wearing gold for men is not mentioned in the Quran, doing this, doing that is not, combining, marrying a woman with her maternal or paternal aunt is not mentioned in the Quran, I can do that. And he keeps on saying rubbish. So what do you do with such people? Such people are apostates, because they've exited the fold of Islam. This is different to someone who says that the hadith related to music, in my opinion, and according to my research, is not authentic. I believe in the Sunnah. I believe 100% in the Sunnah, and I abide by it. But there is a specific hadith here and there, only a handful, maybe one or two, that I don't accept. This is dangerous if it's coming from someone who does not have knowledge. If he's a knowledgeable person, a student of knowledge, a scholar, yeah, we accept that, because he's got the tools to make such a verdict. But if he is someone who's ignorant, doesn't know the Sharia, doesn't know the Quran, doesn't know Arabic, and he comes and gives fatwas and yes, halal and this is haram, and he doesn't know how to speak even the language of the Quran, definitely this is something that is dangerous. But due to the fact that he did not reject the Sunnah entirely, rather only one or two, due to maybe legitimate reasons, maybe not, then he's not a kafir for that.
Like, my brain cannot process the things he's saying. I'm serious. Like, wow, Asim Halakim. Anyways, thanks to Alpha Music Empire. Yes, thank you for the gifts. Alpha Music Empire. You say, a successful Ramadan to all brothers and sisters. Let's purify ourselves and keep on striving. Thank you very much for the gift as well. I appreciate that. Thank you. God bless you. Anyways, let's go over the video. I'm going to help you cross-check so that you check the mental state of this so-called scholars. I'm serious. Their mental state need to be checked when they are talking, right? Before even they go to the public, to be honest, right? So let me replay what he said. We are going to check what he said.
CD from Germany, he says that there are people who, when you talk to them about haram things in the Sunnah, they reject it and they say, no, as long as it's not mentioned in the Quran, we do not believe in it. This is very dangerous.
So indirectly, he's talking about people who claim to follow the Quran alone, right? For guidance, right? For guidance. When we say somebody is following the Quran alone, it doesn't mean he doesn't follow other books or sayings somewhere. But when we say in the aspect of religion, the faith, the deen, Quran alone means you are taking your guidance only from the book of God. So if anything pertaining to Islam is not in the scope of the Quran, you are not with it. That is what these people are tagging as Quran alone. So I did a video where I was giving a response to Farid, brother Farid. If you have watched that video, it's on my YouTube channel. Go and watch Versus Scholars. Thank you very much for the gifts, brother Hassan. So Farid response, I gave him a response, and I broke down the notion of when they tag as the Quranists or Quran alone followers, right? I dismantled their argument. So anybody who is looking to find a weapon on how to fight the mushriks concerning when they tag you a Quran alone follower or a Quranist, the response you have to give them should be from the hadith books. The answer is there. Find it, and then you can face any sectarian who is accusing you of being a Quranist, right? So now, this statement, somebody was asking him a question pertaining people who said they reject the so-called Sunnah they have, which is not the Sunnah of God, right? It's the Sunnah they attribute to Prophet Muhammad, which has nothing to do with Prophet Muhammad. Because according to them, they said the marriage of Prophet Muhammad to Nana Aisha, who was 6 years old when he married her, and he consummated the marriage at 9 years old, they say it was Sunnah. If it is Sunnah, we don't see your scholars doing it. We don't see Mufti Menk, Asim Al-Hakim, we don't see you doing it. We don't see Zakir Naik. We don't see all your Sunni scholars doing that. Why? Are they better than the Prophet, according to you? If you claim the Prophet actually did that, why are the scholars not doing that? You should ask your scholars. If it's Sunnah, you should do it too. Yeah, because that has not been mentioned in the Quran. You said your Sunnah is, we don't find it in the Quran. Everything which is Sunnah is outside the Quran. So if it is outside the Quran and we can find it in your garbage books, why don't you do it? Marry the 6 years old girls. Let's see. Or you try any scholar who has a 6 years old girl. Just tell him you want to marry his 6 years old and see if you will not find a gun after you. He will make sure he gets a gun against you. I'm serious. So logic, common sense, they don't use when it comes to the matters of faith, religion. They throw logic out of the window. Wallahi lazim. You hear a lot of the scholars telling you that in Islam there is no rationality. Don't use logic. They say Islam doesn't allow common sense. So it means only foolish people are in the so-called version of Islam, man-made version of Islam. I'm serious. I'm not saying it. Their scholars say it. They say don't use your common sense in Islam. You can only allow dead people whose book has not been even verified whether it's authentic or not. You should let them decide Islam for you. As if Islam is for dead people. Now it's not for God. Islam is for dead people. Yes, they let dead people decide for them. Right? Yes, Sister Hannah, yes. Sahih al-Bukhari 5669. Yes. It says the book of God is enough. According to Umar, he said that. Now listen to Asim.
And such people risk being an apostate.
He says such people risk being an apostate. Now, let me show you the contradiction of his statements. You see, in the beginning stages of this statement, he said such people risk becoming an apostate. He didn't say they are apostates. He says they risk becoming an apostate, which means they are not yet apostates. But fast forward, this guy is going to confess and then say these people are apostates out of hatred. This is what they do. So always use their own words against them, accountable. Yes.
Depending on the degree of their rejection. If they say we don't believe in the Sunnah totally, and anything that is not in the Quran, we do not believe in it, these are kafir, disbelievers, because they disbelieve in the Quran. So many.
How can somebody who said he's following the Quran be a disbeliever in the Quran? No, let it make sense to me. How? I don't get the logic here. How can you tell somebody who is following the Quran, he says the book of God is enough, and you are telling him he's a disbeliever in that book? No, let it make sense. How? Like I said, logic doesn't work for sectarians, and that is why they advise their shippos, the ones who don't use their logic. They listen to clowns like this. I'm serious. And then when Mufti Menk is going to Nigeria or Ghana, you see people, hey, Jose, hey, oh, Sheikh, mashallah, mashallah, can I get some blessings? Greet me, oh, mashallah, oh, Mufti Menk, I love you so much. What? What? They've put puppets in front of you to fool you, and you are merrymaking, enjoying. These guys are paid full time to lie to you. There's nothing sensible they tell you in Islam. I'm serious. Everything they tell you is to make you more dumb and dumber. Yes, they are not willing to enlighten you to be educated so that you know what to do for yourself and to think for yourself. No. They will just tell you, get up in the night, say Salat ala Nabi 1,000 times, you are going to Jannah. That's all they tell you. Nothing again.
Many imbeciles.
So now you see how he is insulting, right? Using abusive words. If it's Baba Shrib saying the word foolish right now, people will say I'm insulting the scholars. I tell you, if you watch Baba Shrib's video, out of your foolishness, and you tell me I'm insulting the scholars, you are a fool yourself. Sometimes open your ears and open the brain and listen carefully before you pass on judgment. Yes, if you watch any of my videos, and you foolishly, out of ignorance, tell me I'm insulting people or scholars, you are a fool. Yes, you, the one who watch my video and say, why is this guy insulting scholars like that? Which scholar? Are you a fool? If you have any grown-up person around your area you respect so much, and then you find out he has been raping your sister, or he has been stealing the chicken you have in your farm, will you ever respect such a person again? You tell me. You confess to me. Will you respect such a person again, regardless of his age? So similarly, Baba Shuaib has noticed that the scholars have been lying to you. They don't tell you the truth. I'm serious. They don't tell you the truth. You expect Baba Shuaib to be nice and friendly and respectful to who? To these foolish scholars? Yes, I repeat, foolish scholars. I should be respectful and nice to who? Who? Yes, Sunnis and Shias punish apostates by death. This Asif said, we who reject the Hadith books are dangerous and apostates. This bozo Asif indirectly threatened our lives. Beware who you befriend. Yeah, exactly. I'm serious. Now listen to him.
Wallahi, there's so many ignorant people that you feel so ashamed while speaking to them.
Is he not ignorant himself? This guy, ask him, is he not ignorant himself? He's very ignorant. The guy who said, I drink beer. And he says, I'm proud of it. And he says, Akhi, I'm not a scholar. Is that not an ignorant person? And he is giving you fatwa? Eh? Exactly, Avram. They compile thousands of books. If you go to any popular masjid in the world, you see those books, the garbage is behind them, full of garbage behind them. And then they tell you some are authentic and some are da'if, some are weak. The weak ones, you don't use it, put it aside, but still they have it in that book. I'm serious. Quran chapter 42, verse 40. The just requital for a penalty is a penalty like it. If somebody does evil to you, according to God, you can retaliate. Quran chapter 42, verse 40. So if somebody like Asim al-Hakim can call people like us imbeciles, can call people like us apostates, can call people like us names, and what do you think we have to do also? We have to reciprocate. Yes. Reciprocate. He's a fool. Fool. Actually, he's a bozo. Yeah, thank you, Tem Kotok. Thank you for the gift.
So sorry for them. And they're so proud of themselves. Yes.
Asim, you are not proud. Look at the way you are talking. Yeah. Are you not proud? Look at his face. Like a villain. Unfortunately, those on TikTok, you cannot see it. And the foolish people out there think these people are the top imams and scholars of Islam. These imposters. Because they dress like this. So you think automatically Islam belongs to them. Yes, that's what you think.
We don't believe except in the Quran. The Quran is the word of Allah. Allah revealed it to Muhammad ﷺ, preserved it. We believe nothing except in it. Excuse me.
Excuse you for what? No, how is that something bigger for your brain to bear? Or are you trying to tell me Islam belongs to the Arabs? Since when? No, where does it say Islam belongs to the Arabs? Hello, Ibrahim, the one God asked us to follow his millah, was he an Arab? So since when did Islam become an Arabian religion? Hello? So just because a Ghanaian movie is acted in English language, does that make the movie an English movie? Meaning for the English people? No, I'm asking. So just because a Nigerian movie is acted in English language, does that mean the movie belongs to the British people or English people? So just because Quran is in Arabic language, does it make it automatically a book belonging to the Arabs? No. No. Baba Shoaib, I can sit here and face Arabs online. I can dismantle them fully on the Quran. Let's put joke aside. I'm sitting here. Let them try me. Give me the Arabs. Those who claim they are Hadithiyuns. Let them join me live on a dialogue. You watch me dismantle. They don't know anything from the book. So don't just let these things deceive you that because the book is written in Arabic language, so automatically Islam and the Quran belongs to the Arabs. Who born you by mistake? Who told you that? Right? I'm from Ghana. The constitution we have in Ghana is written in English language. But it doesn't mean the constitution we have or our country belongs to the English people. No, it doesn't. No, it belongs to Ghanaians. So despite say I'm using English language to write my constitution does not make my country belonging to the British people. And that is the logic a lot of people don't get here. Yeah? Quran doesn't belong to the Arabs. Islam doesn't belong to the Arabs. Quran chapter 3 verse 19, Islam belongs to God. Quran chapter 10 verse 37, Quran belongs to God. You are the biggest fool to think Islam started in the 7th century. You are the biggest fool to think Quran belongs to the Arabs. Wallahi lazim. A lot of the Arabians you see on earth don't even know what the Quran says. I'm serious. Just put joke aside. Wallahi, they don't know what the Quran says. Of course, I'm not saying Arabs don't know their book. Some know the book. They can read. They can understand. Some. Not all of them. Some. But majority of them don't know what the Quran says. Regardless, stop thinking they are scholars like people like Asim Al-Hakim. Give me one-on-one chance with this guy. Wallahi lazim. I will dismantle him on the Quran from head to toe. So just because somebody speaks Arabic does not make him a genius on the Quran. Do you get the point?
Have you ever read the Quran? Oh, no, sorry, I don't know Arabic. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. And you're coming to discuss something of the principles of Islam, simply out of your whims and desires? Don't you know that in the Quran Allah says, وَأَطِيعُ اللَّهِ وَأَطِيعُ الرَّسُولِ?
That's what they do. Then they stop there. وَأَطِيعُ اللَّهِ وَأَطِيعُ الرَّسُولِ. That's it. This is how they've been taught and programmed to quote the verses of the Quran. They never quote the verses in full. Yeah, thank you very much. Somebody was bringing my attention. He, Asim Al-Hakim, is not an Arab. He's a Malaysian, or is he Indonesian? I think between the two, right? So he's either Indonesian or Malaysian. He is not an Arab. But of course, the Arabs have actually indoctrinated him. So he has become one of those. And when I say the Arabs, I'm not talking about all are against all Arabs. I'm talking about the Hadithiyun, the Hadith version of Arabs. Look, the Arabs, they have different versions. And let me tell you a story you don't know. The Arabs who follow the Hadith books, they hate the ones who don't follow the Hadith very, very, very much. I'm not joking. The Arabs who follow the Hadith books, they hate the Arabs who don't follow the Hadith books very, very, very much. And that is why they go to the extent using the word murtad, apostate. If they have the chance, they will just eliminate them. Wallahi lazim. I'm not joking. If they have the chance, they will eliminate them. Yes.
Obey Allah and obey the Prophet. How to obey the Prophet?
Where does the verse says obey the Prophet? This is their foolishness. And when we talk, you think we are insulting them. God says, Atiwullah wa atiwur Rasul. Translate it. Obey God and obey the messenger. Out of their foolishness, they will change the words of God and now say, obey God and obey the Prophet. Who born these scholars by mistake? The word prophet and the word messenger, is it the same? The duty of a prophet and the duty of a messenger, is it the same? Out of their foolishness, if you ask them again, they will say, no, it's not the same duty. Your foolishness from your own hadith books, you are telling us the duty of a prophet is not the same duty as a messenger. But out of your foolishness again, I dare any sectarian to show me one verse in the Quran where it says, Atiwullah wa atiwun Nabi. It doesn't exist. You only find Atiwullah wa atiwur Rasul. Obey God and obey the messenger. What is the duty of a messenger? To deliver a message. What is the message? The Quran. Quran chapter 5 verse 67. Ya ayyuhar Rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. Wa illam taf'alu fama ballagta risalatahu wallahu ya'simuka minan nas. Quran chapter 5 verse 67. God says, oh, you the messenger, deliver what has been revealed to you from your Lord. And if you do not, then you have not delivered his messages. Listen, God was talking to him, oh, you the messenger, Deliver what has been revealed to you from your Lord. And if you do not, then you have not delivered his messages. And God will safeguard you from the people. But the same foolish people again will tell you a spell was cast on Prophet Muhammad. And it goes to a point he was telling people the words of Satan and he wasn't aware. Hey!
How to obey Allah Azza wa Jal? First of all. So yeah, we have to obey Allah. How? So by reading the Quran, this is Allah's words. Good. How to obey the Prophet?
Are you a fool? If Prophet as a messenger did not deliver the Quran, how can we get to hear the words of God? So the messenger brought the words of God to us. So when we obey the messenger, we are obeying God. Quran chapter 4 verse 80. Man yuti rasula faqad ata Allah. Because God gave the messenger a message to give to the people. And the messenger delivered it. Now we have it. So if I'm obeying the message, I'm obeying God. Because the messenger has already delivered the message. What is the message? The Quran. Simple. But they don't have this common sense.
By obeying the Quran, because the Quran was revealed to him. Excuse me, it's the same thing.
This guy thinks he's smart. Hey, Azuma like him. This guy, if he's a celebrity, I will need his autograph. So let me know, in case this guy is a celebrity, I will need his autograph. Hey!
Obeying the Quran, the Prophet is by believing in the Sunnah. So
you see how they twist words? Obeying the Prophet Muhammad is by believing the Sunnah. Which Sunnah? The whole of Quran, you will never find where it says Sunnah to Muhammad. It doesn't exist. Nor does it say Prophet Muhammad as his own Sunnah. It doesn't exist. So how can you foolishly allow these foolish scholars to be fooling you? Why? In the name of God. Why?
if you do not believe in the Sunnah and you say, no, music is not mentioned in the Quran. Wearing gold for men is not mentioned in the Quran. Doing this, doing that is not... combining, marrying a woman with her maternal or paternal...
Guys, I'm tired of this bullshit. This guy is just a knapsack. The same guy who says he drinks beer.
I drink beer, and I'm proud of that. But the beer I drink, before you quote me for that, is from Saudi Arabia, and it has like 2%, maybe 3% alcohol. And it's legal, and it's halal. One says, oh, it has alcohol. Akhi, if I drink half a pack, nothing happens. I drink beer, and I'm proud of that.
However, this is not our question. Did you, Sheikh Asim, say 2% to 3% in a drink is permissible because it does not waste? Yes, I did. Do you still stand by this? No, I don't. What do you mean? Akhi, when I talk about Islamic issues, I don't talk from my own self. I'm not a scholar. I don't.
So do you hear Asim al-Hakim? He says when he talks about Islamic issues, he doesn't talk by himself. He is not a scholar. Why will you take this kind of people seriously? He is a clown. No, why will you take a clown seriously? What these kind of people do is to go around making fatwa, casting ignorance in the people's head to cause hatred against people, right? To hate people. Look at the foolishness of a commenter again. He says that sheikh is right because he doesn't want to praise himself. Was it a human being who gave birth to you? Seriously? Is it the brain you are using to type this? He doesn't want to praise himself, so he has to fool himself. What? Seriously? What? Your scholars are fooling themselves. You not tell them. When we are telling them, you think, hey, this guy is rude. He's disrespectful. They are here disrespecting your prophet, telling you your prophet married a Sisio girl. They tell you your prophet slept with 11 women in one night. They tell you the prophet tried to sleep with a concubine on the bed of his wife. They tell you this prophet tried to sleep with a woman and she shamed him in public. They try to tell you that they cast a spell of the devil on the prophet and it got him. All this nonsense you believe. And when we are trying to wake up your brain damaged cells, you call us enemies of Islam, enemies of the prophet. If you are not a fool, will you have that kind of mindset? Yeah, thank you, Abdullah Adam, for the gift. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So let's talk about the month of Ramadan, right? Now, last week I did a video, right? And when I did the video, I spoke about Ramadan, and I spoke about the calendar, which is the Hijr calendar, which is based on the lunar calendar, right? And I took the most important part of the video and I shared it. And when I shared it, I started seeing some misconceptions among people who claim to follow the Quran. Baba Shraib, I have a policy. This is my policy. This is how I do my things. If you ever see any of my videos online, right, and you have a misconception about it, please don't expect that if you are typing to me questions and stuffs, I will have the same dedication to be answering you in the comment section. No, I don't have that energy. Baba Shraib, I'm built to have a monologue or a dialogue. So if you have any issue, please, my phone number is there. You contact me, or you come, let's arrange a dialogue and discuss in front of the people, because whatever Baba Shraib does, I do it in front of the people. I'm never ever running away from anybody. You can be a Quran alone follower, you can be a mushrik, you can be a Christian, you can be a pagan. I don't care. I don't give a damn who you are. If I speak about any topic and you think you have a problem with that topic, find me. Let's arrange it. Let's have a public dialogue. Because typing is cheap. You can write whatever you want. I do my investigations thoroughly before I jump out in the public. I don't do things out of ignorance. If you don't agree with me, it's okay. Because Rome was not built in a day. Don't expect us to agree to the same thing all of a sudden. It takes time, right? A lot of the positions you have come to, I have been there before. And I passed that position before getting to where I am. So it's not like out of ignorance, I just passed one side and I got to where I am. A lot of the people you watch out there, I've had discussions with them. I've talked to them either privately or discussions with them before. Yes. Differences will always happen. But then when you publicly go to somebody and say you are wrong, and yet you cannot prove that person wrong when it comes to where it matters, then you have issues. A lot of you came from the sectarian perspective before claiming to be Quran alone followers. So you still have some of the things left in you. Yes, you have some of the things from the sectarians left inside you, the emotions and so on. You agree with Baba Shraib on a lot of things just because it agrees with your logic. You don't agree with Baba Shraib in other things. Why don't you sit Baba Shraib down face to face and discuss and see if I know what I'm saying or not? So like I said, if you see me making a video, you don't understand. I'm not saying you should agree with me by force. I'm not saying, because I know knowledge goes with time before you get to understand a concept. That's why I make my videos out there and put it out there. For people who tell me, oh, there's no ritual salat, let them say their point of view. Baba Shoaib is available. My phone number is there. Let them call me. Let's have a dialogue. And let's see if there's ritual salat in the Quran or not. Baba Shoaib is there. You say there is no prostration. Let's go. If you can prove me wrong, that is not there. If Baba Shoaib says the Hijr calendar, some people are saying, oh, brother, you are using external source. How? Since when did calendar become external source? No, you the one say I'm using external source. Your passport, which date of birth is written there? So then why don't you use the calendar of the Quran to write your date of birth then? The days you are using, whose calendar are you using? Is it not Gregorian? So now, if now Hijr calendar has been able to show you the proof, the Prophet Muhammad, if right now, ask any Quran alone follower, that how many years has the Quran been on earth? They will be calculating to give you a year. Then they will say, oh, I think it's 1,400. How did you know that? No, how did you know? If you ask them, how many years has the Quran existed after the Prophet? They will hardly mention. They will say about 1,400 years. How did you know that? So out of the ignorance of some people, then they will say, oh, Umar created this calendar. Oh, so you believe. I thought you are Quran alone. How come you believe? Hadith telling you what? Look. Baba Shoaib is available for discussions, for dialogues, for debates. I'm never running away from anybody. If I make a video, I'm not saying you should agree with me by force. But if you go to the extent to tell me I'm wrong and you don't have the guts and balls to step forward to face me, then you are a coward. I'm serious. My phone number is always there. I'm not hiding. Get in touch with me. I can bring you live. Let's have a discussion. But be ready to answer my questions, because you have to prove by logic whatever you are saying. And we are going to fact check you. I'm serious. I'll fact check you. It's not about your emotions where you come and type. If you don't agree with me, fine. But I'm going to fact check you. I'm serious. So there are certain things other people will get to understand before you. That is why Quran chapter 17 verse 36, God says, do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. So if you don't have knowledge about something, the simple advice God gave you is don't pursue. But that doesn't mean if Abba Shoaib, I'm convinced with the evidence I have and I'm pursuing, you say I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, come and prove me wrong. Is it not simple? If I'm wrong, if Abba Shoaib is wrong, come and prove me wrong. That's all I want. Don't go to the comment section. Comment section is for everybody in the backyard. You can write whatever you want. Typing is cheap. I'm serious. It is when Baba Shoaib brings you live. That is when you know how it feels to sit in front of the world and talk. You think it's a joke? Or you think I'll just come here to manipulate people? To just go and take things out there and then everything you see me discussing online, I do thorough research before talking. I don't do out of ignorance because I know even the enemies are watching me. So I'm well prepared before I speak. And that is why the mushriks find me as a threat. The pagans among Christians find me as a threat. So if you are a Quran alone and you don't agree with me, I have a lot of respected Quran alone followers who don't agree with me in other things, but they don't dare come out and tell me I'm wrong. Because all I ask for is come out, let's face it in front of the people. And let's see if I'm wrong or not. Simple. You don't agree with somebody doesn't mean they are wrong. Do you get my point? So, when we take the notion of Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, if you want to understand, the last video I made, I gave the breakdown. Somebody was asking, why did you use the Julian calendar? I was only using to draw contrast because that at that year, that timeline, the Julian calendar also existed. Just like today, the Hijr calendar exists. Saudi Arabia is using Hijr calendar still today. But today we are using Gregorian calendar. You and I, in our passport, in our ID cards, we are using Gregorian calendar. Before Baba Shoaib fix this live session to come, I was using Gregorian calendar to come and fix the live session and come online. Do you get my point? But just because when it comes to the notion of serving God, and then I use an evidence based on the Quran to confirm what was in the past, to prove a point. Somebody say, oh, you are using external source. How do you understand external source? How? How do you understand the word external source? So finding a date is now external source. Date. You call it external source. Dates, ladies and gentlemen, dates. Like to say today, 14th March 2024, is that it has become external. Then come and give me the date in the Quran. Give me the date. Don't come and give me that September bullshit. Because September wasn't the month God mentioned in the Quran. God didn't say the month of September was the month in which he revealed the Quran. I gave the breakdown. I showed you 17th of Ramadan, second year after Hijr. That is when the Battle of Badr happened. So I was only drawing contrast to show you that during that same year, the calendar the Muslims were using, the Julian calendar existed. So I was only using to draw a contrast to tell you that if we have to calculate, is consistent. So that's why we still have the calendar today. Saudi Arabia is still using it. That is what I use as a reference. Remember, Quran chapter 10 verse 37. The Quran is to serve as a confirmation of what was before it. So if something is before the Quran has to confirm for you. So that is why God mentioned in Quran chapter 8 verse 41, telling the believers to remember what he revealed to his servant. Do you understand? So now, if I have a date of Battle of Badr, just like I was making a reference of the September 11th. So now if somebody asks you, hey, which year did the World Trade Center got destroyed? Then you say September 11, 2001. You are just mentioning a date. How is that external source? I don't get it. What is the external source there? What do you mean external source? So what is the internal source? Which date does it give you? Which date? Okay. Anyways, some people are asking whether Ramadan is 29 days or 30 days. It is not fixed number. So I'm going to help you with that. When you go to Quran chapter 2, verse 184. Let me share it on the screen. Let's see. Chapter 2, verse 184. Here. God says, concerning the Siyam, he says, Ayyamin ma'adudat. Ayyaman ma'adudat. That is for a limited number of days. He didn't say ayyamin ma'alumat. When we say ma'alumat, it means they are fixed or they are well-known number of days, meaning they are known. It's a fixed number. But here he says ma'adudat. They are limited. It's few. Right? Now the reason why it is a limited number of days, because if we enter into the month of Ramadan, maybe before you start calculating, you might see the crescent today. I might see it tomorrow. Another person might see it 2 days before. Do you get my point? So from the day he sights the crescent, he starts counting his days of Siyam, abstinence, till again he see the waning crescent. Then he knows how many days he has gotten. Do you see? For instance, Baba Shraib, I started my Siyam, that was on Wednesday. That is when I started. So on Tuesday night, I saw the crescent. So then it marks the calculation. I started calculating my days from that day. So it doesn't necessarily mean I have to get 29 days or 30 days. No. From the day I started counting going forward, I might end up having 26, 25, 27 from the day I sight the crescent till the day I sight the waning crescent. That is the days I'm using for my Siam. That is how it works. So it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be 29 days or 30. It's not fixed, just like the Hadithiyus are telling you. It's not a fixed number, even though it is within the month. So God says, for a limited number of days, so whoever is sick among you or on a journey, then a number of other days, because within a month, you have other days in front. So let's say you are sick for a few days or you are traveling for a few days. Those other days in front of you, you have to do it. It doesn't mean you should repay or you have to compensate those days. Just like the Hadithiyus will be telling you, hey, if you miss 3 days, you have to pay for it. After Ramadan, you have to do it. Now, after the Ramadan, if you are doing a fasting, what does it become? You tell me, after Ramadan, and you are doing Siyam, what does it become? What's the name of that? Which month is that? Is that Ramadan? No. You are in the month of Ramadan. So God says in Quran chapter 2, verse 185, He says, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْ. Whoever witnesses the month among you should do the fasting. So if you have witnessed the month, who is now telling you after the month again, you have to go and do what fasting? Now, is it after the month again God asks you to do another fasting for that month? No, it is within the month. If you witness it, then fast for the month. That's what God told you. So in Quran chapter 2, verse 184, then he says, if you are sick or on a journey, then a number of other days in front of you. Then he says, and for those who will suffer it, meaning whether you are sick, whether you are traveling, and you are willing to do, or maybe you are at work, but you are willing to do, but you struggle. Then God says, وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فِدْيَةُ الطَّعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ. Then it's a ransom, right? I feed in a poor person. For the Siyam that you couldn't do, you ransom. Right? And the other day, somebody was writing me a message, said I should use the word redeem. Well, redeem and ransom, they are synonyms. Right? So you ransom by feeding a poor person, or you redeem by feeding a poor person. That's what God gave you. Remember, Quran chapter 22, verse 78. God says he has chosen you and has not placed any difficulty upon you in the deen. So why should what you practice in Islam be difficult? You ask yourself. Why should it be difficult? Do you know the purpose of Siyam? If you want to know the purpose, read chapter 2, verse 183. Kutiba alaykum siyam kama kutiba ala allazina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. The purpose of a Siyam is to make you pious. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. God never said the Siyam is there for you to be angel or something. It is to make you pious. That is the purpose of Siyam. So then, you are in the month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan is gone. You say you are going to make up missed days of fast. Missed days of what? Where? So why did God put ransom there? If there is a ransom, why do you need any missed days of fasting for? For what? Why do you think God put ransom there? Then God says, and whoever volunteers well with a good deed, then it is good for him. But to fast is better for you if you should know. So it says here in Arabic, wa anta sumu khairul lakum in kuntum ta'alamun. If you should do the fasting, is better for you according to God, because it actually helps you to have the piousness. Right? Now, when you go to 185, it says the month of Ramadan is that in which the Quran was revealed as guidance for the people, as well as the proofs of the guidance and the criterion, the Furqan. So whoever witnesses the month, and the month starts with the moon, that's the cognates. That's why we have first day, second day, third day, fourth day, it keeps going till the month ends. So we use the phases of the moon to know the beginning of the month and when the month is going to end. The phases of the moon. So the moon has what we call manazila. Chapter 10, verse 5. It has what we call manazila, its positions or its phases. So now, whoever witnesses the month among you, because not everybody will witness it at the same time. Based in Finland, I spotted the moon on Tuesday night. You are based maybe in Ghana, you spotted it on Monday night. Somebody is based in Spain, he spotted it yesterday. Somebody is based in somewhere, he spotted it. You understand? This is how it works. So the day you find it, the crescent, then you start counting from that day going forward. So that is what you get. Do you get the point? So whoever witnesses the month among you, then let him fast it. Then he says, and whoever is sick or on a journey, then a number of other days. Because during the time you have seen, you have started, if you are sick, leave, don't fast. You are sick. Don't fast other days out in front. Whoever is traveling, maybe you are traveling for 3 days, don't fast. Leave it for other days and fast ahead of you in the same month. So then he says what? Then a number of other days. God intends ease for you. Now listen carefully. God intends ease for you. If he's forcing you, you fast by force if you are sick. If he is forcing you, you fast by force when you are traveling. But because God intends ease for you, he says for a number of other days, you should do it, different days in the same month. Do you get the point? So then he says, and does not intend hardship for you. Now, if you don't intend hardship for somebody, let me give you an example. Let's say you don't have money to buy a phone, and I help you with the money to buy a phone. If I'm expecting you to pay me back, is it not an hardship? Is that not hardship? Yes, it's hardship. If you have to pay me back the money I gave you to buy a phone because you don't have money, that becomes hardship because I'm expecting the money back from you. So God says he doesn't intend hardship for you. So if God says he doesn't intend hardship, he intends ease for you, what do you expect here? So God would now tell you to pay back the days of fasting again? Hey, where are you taking your guidance from? Remember, the Quran is the book of guidance. That is the month we are celebrating now. It's the month of guidance of the Quran. So then you leave the guidance of the Quran, you make some garbage books now tell you what to do. And they even go to the extent to tell you when you miss the salat, you have to pay for it. When you miss the fasting, you have to pay for it. Is that not hardship, ladies and gentlemen? Hey. So God intends ease for you and does not intend hardship for you, so that you may complete the period, because it's a month going forward. So if you are missed, complete going forward, because it's going forward to the completion of the month. That's why he says whoever witnesses the month should fast it. So if you are within the month and you are sick, you have been respited. You are traveling, you've been respited. If you can do it, but you suffer, then you have to do fidyat, redeem or ransom. Simple. There is no hardship in Islam here. I'm serious. Don't fool yourself based on what the scholars are telling you. Quran chapter 33 verse 67. If you obey your masters and your leaders concerning the deen, they will mislead you from the way of God with their opinions. Be careful. Listen to the book of God if you believe that's the words of God. Listen to what the words are telling you. Don't let anybody put his whims and desires in the words of God. Now, and that you may magnify God for what he has guided you. He guided you to the book, so you magnify God. Then he says, and so that you may be thankful. If you are thankful for God guiding you, that's where you deserve to magnify him. It is as simple as it is. Now, when we go to 186, he says, and whenever my servants ask you about me, they ask you, Muhammad, about me, then indeed I am near. I answer the supplication of a supplicant when he invokes me. So let them respond to me and let them believe in me. Perhaps they will be well guided. Right? Okay. Now, verse 187. Before we go to 187, 186, you never heard God says, I will come to the nearest heaven. He says, I'm near. He's near to you already. Whenever you invoke him, he's listening. He responds to you. So you have to also respond to God. He never said, oh, I'll come in Laylatul Qadr. I'm coming down on the 27th of Ramadan so that you can pray to me in the night for how many hours before I listen to you. He never said that. Please. Don't let the scholars fool you and tell you the night of Qadr is on the 27th or is on the 20 something. And then you go and stand for 3 hours, 4 hours. Hey. Thank you, Enes, for the gift. I appreciate that. Don't let them fool you, to be honest. Now we go to 187. Lawful for you is the night time of the fasting, that is abstinence, the abstinence, to last after your wives, that is your women, your wives. They are a covering for you and you are a covering for them. So now the night of Siyam, the night time, not the daytime, the night time has been made lawful for you to copulate with your women. Right? You can copulate. You can enjoy yourselves. The night time. Then he says, God knows that you had been cheating yourselves. He has now given you that time, the night time, to copulate. Now, cheating yourselves here, you know, when you are deprived from something. Let me give you an example. When you are deprived from something, you always crave for that thing. When you are deprived, let's say you are deprived from something you normally have access to. Let's say you have access to food and drink. But now you've been deprived from the daytime. That's abstain from it. That's why we call it Siyam, abstinence. And then you are with your wife, you can copulate with each other, right? But now you have been restricted from it, abstinence from the daytime. You can't do anything. Now you see, it's like we have people who cheat themselves. Cheating themselves means they want to have that access to the thing which they have been restricted from. Whether it's food, whether it's drink, whether it's sexual activities, they are craving for that. So God knows you are cheating yourselves. He knows that. He knows what you do. Yes. There are evidences of people who claim they are fasting, but they will go and hide and eat. There are evidences of people who are fasting, but they will go and hide and drink. I'm serious. There are evidences of people who claim they are fasting, but they will go and have sex. It is evident. It's not a joke. This is reality. A lot of people watching me, you know what I'm saying. It's a reality. It's a fact. God will not joke with you. He knows you more than you know yourself. So he's telling you. He knows that you have been cheating yourselves. So now with this, he decided this is how I'm going to give you. Yes, someone should go and check on Mufti. So he has forgiven you and has pardoned you. Right? And he says what? So he has forgiven you and has pardoned you. So copulate with them now. Now he has given you the chance to mingle. Copulate with them in the night time. He has given you the chance. The mushriks will say sunnah. You can have sunnah with your women in the night time. So now, copulate with them now and seek what God has decreed for you. Now, listen, during the night time, and eat and drink until the whitish thread becomes clear to you from the blackish thread of dawn. Because you are coming throughout the night. The night time, God has made it lawful for you to last after your women, to eat and drink during the night time. Use that for eating and doing all your activities. Then as soon as it goes to the dawn time, you see the sky starts becoming white, and then the black thread of night starts vanishing. So now the sky starts becoming clear. The whitish part start appearing. So when that happens at dawn, that is when you conclude and you stop eating, because that is when the fasting, this abstinence is going to start. So you are going to abstain from sex, you are going to abstain from food, you are going to abstain from drink. It's a test to test your piousness. If God refrains you from something, can you actually refrain? That is the test. It's a test. Do you get my point? So now, then conclude the abstinence at night. So now it goes like a cycle. So you started from the night, you can eat, you can drink, you can last after your women. Then at dawn time, you stop. No eating, no drinking, no lasting. Now you are going to do the abstinence straight out up to night again. So it's like a cycle. So daytime, no eating, daytime, no drinking, and daytime, no. You understand? Now, when we say layl, if you go to Quran chapter 92 verse 1, it says, وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى. When we say layl, it means darkness. When it's covered, that's nighttime, darkness. That is layl. God didn't say ila al-maghrib. He didn't say ila al-ghurub. He didn't say ila al-ashi. He says till night. God didn't say you should break your fasting at Isha. He never said you should break your fasting at Maghrib. You already know yourself, the mushriks. You have been doing it. You go and break your fast at Maghrib. You go and break your fast at Isha. You're wasting your energy. If your boss asks you to work from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock and you're working from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, have you fulfilled the requirement? No, you haven't. So keep that in mind. If your boss asks you to work from 1 to 6 and you are working from 1 to 5, have you fulfilled the agreement? No, you haven't. So ask yourself again. Do you get my point? You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. So God says here, He says, ثُمَّ أَتِمُّ سِيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. You conclude the abstinence at night. He didn't say at Maghrib. He didn't say at Isha. What time does night time start? I'm going to help you. If you want to know the time that night starts, we have something we call twilight. There is twilight. There's three different types of twilight. There is astronomical twilight, there is civil twilight, and there is nautical twilight. Astronomical twilight is closer to the night time, to the dark part. So that one you can use. Night time starts with the twilight, but not the nautical twilight. Not the nautical twilight. Let me show you here. I have a video I did on it. I have a lecture on my YouTube. I gave the graph I put on the screen. You try to check that lecture. The name of that topic is Lunar Solar Calendar of Ramadan or something. Try to watch that lecture. It's on my YouTube channel. Go to the playlist, the Siam series. I have it there, right? Now, when you take Quran chapter 17, verse 78, the time night time starts is defined there. So for those watching on YouTube and Facebook, I'm putting it on the screen. You can see it. But those on TikTok, unfortunately, you cannot see. But this is how it goes. God says, Akimi salat liduluki shams ila gasakil layl. Now, this gasak, we call it dusk, or we can say twilight. Gasakil layl. Now, layl has what we call twilight. But this twilight of the night is what today we classify as astronomical twilight, because it is closer to the darkness hour. It is exactly before darkness looms. So this twilight, that is the time night time starts, because definition of night is in Surah Al-Layl, chapter 92, verse 1. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى. So night means it has been covered. That's why darkness appears. If you are breaking your fast at Maghrib, you are fooling yourself. If you are breaking your fast at Ashi or Isha, you are fooling yourself. You are not smarter than God. Quran chapter 10 verse 82. وَيُحِقُّ اللَّهُ الْحَقَّ بِكَلِمَاتِهِ وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْمُجْرِمُونَ. God will enforce the truth with his words, not my words, not your words, not your scholar's words, not the prophet's words. وَيُحِقُّ اللَّهُ الْحَقَّ بِكَلِمَاتِهِ وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْمُجْرِمُونَ. And God will enforce the truth with his words, even if the criminals dislike it. You know the criminals, right? The ones who break their fast at Maghrib. God knows what Maghrib is. If you want to say ilal gurub or ilal Maghrib, he will have said it. Ilal ashiyi, he will have said it. He says ilal layl. Thumma atimmu siyama ilal layl. Complete or conclude the siyam at night. He didn't say at Maghrib. Stop fooling yourself. If you cannot do the siyam, it's not by force. The boss you are working for, he says start from dawn and end at night. You, out of your foolishness, you start from dawn and then you end at sunset. Check the definition of sunset. It is not part of the night. Check the definition of evening. It is not part of the night. The word sunset, it is not classified as nighttime. The word evening is not classified as nighttime. The word night is a different ball game altogether. If you cannot do it, forget about it. Okay. So if you want to understand the definition of nighttime, then you can check chapter 17, verse 78. That is, it starts with Gasak al-Layl. So the Layl has a Gasak. Do you understand? It has a Gasak, meaning the twilight, astronomical, is closer. So the darkness looms. Okay. Okay. I forgot to mention this. On GoFundMe, I have this event going on for the old people. I'm trying to feed in the community. I grew up in Ghana, right? I normally do it every six months in a year. And this time we are starting, right? I have about 4 or 5 people who have donated already, right? That is the link on my page on YouTube and Facebook. It's on my GoFundMe page, right? That is the link. It's gofund.me/31642551. I normally feed the old people during that occasion. And especially now in Ramadan, I feed the old people because normally in Africa, in certain communities, people forget the old people. They don't take care of the old people, right? So during Ramadan, I've taken it upon myself to actually help feed the old people so that they can enjoy this blessed month. I wish I can be doing it every time, but where's the means? So the best I can do is twice in a year. Every 6 months, I organize that, right? So the last time we organized such a charity work was, I think, in October, November. Now we are entering, we are in March, going to April. So I've organized again, but for the month of Ramadan, right? So we have about 4 or 5 people who have donated already, and the feeding program is starting. I think this is by the end of this week. Yes, it's starting already because we have to attend to the old people before anything else. So we are starting. So those who have not donated, if you are willing to donate, you can send me a message, or you check on the screen from the YouTube or via Facebook. You see the link where if you're willing to donate, you're welcome, and God bless you for this, right? And those who have already donated, I appreciate that. God bless you once more. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have for Facebook and YouTube, I have to bring it to an end, but I'm going to give chance for question and answer session for Facebook and YouTube. For those on TikTok, I'm coming to you after I'm done with the lecture on Facebook and YouTube. I'm coming straight to TikTok. So for TikTok, if you have questions, then I will say you should exercise some patience. I'll jump to your side, but let those on Facebook and YouTube ask their questions, and probably those on Instagram. Yes, I think I can tolerate questions from there also when it has to do with Ramadan. I repeat, if you have to ask me any question, please, I repeat, let it be based on the month of Ramadan. Unless if you have any question pertaining to what I spoke about earlier concerning Asim al-Hakim, fine, I can tolerate that. But if you have any question, let it be based on the month of Ramadan. Let's speak about that, right? So for those on this thing, let me put my phone number. If you want to call, you're welcome to call. That is the phone number on the screen below. That is my WhatsApp number, correctional officer's number. You want to call, you're welcome to call. And then if you want to type your question, you're welcome to type your question. Sister, yes, Dr. Aisha is asking me a question. Yes, I think this escaped me. I saw that your question last time on YouTube, right? Okay, she says, have you seen the argument that Siam is not abstaining from food and drink? I've seen that argument. Those people are basing their argument from Quran chapter 19, verse 26. So let's assess it. We have people among people who claim to follow the Quran. They isolate a word to one meaning, a single meaning. We have a lot of people who claim, no, a word can have only one meaning. It cannot have any other meaning, which is wrong. That type of understanding is totally out of coverage area, right? In the Quran, we can have words which have multiple meanings. For instance, the word ayah. Ayah means a sign. It can mean a verse. It can mean a miracle. It can mean a symbol, right? It can mean, right? You understand the word ayah. So if you isolate just the ayah and you say it only means what? One meaning, you are not making sense out of this. Do you get my point? One word can have multiple meanings. So now let's go and see this. What they will do is, and many of the people who do this, many of the people who do that actually never studied Arabic, to be honest. It is not throwing shade at anybody. But many of the people who do that kind of mindset, who said, no, it's Siyam doesn't mean, it never means abstaining from food and drink. Those people. So let's go and see, first of all, words have meanings. Before you come to any vocabulary, any language you are going to use, there's something we call vocabulary. In Arabic, we say kamus. Kamus, it can be a dictionary or vocabulary. You don't just jump into a vocabulary and start giving your own meanings to words. Do you understand? Before the Quran was revealed, there was already Arabic language existing on earth. However, God brought it to perfection. Quran chapter 11 verse 1 tells you why God did that. Right? Now, if you take a word, right, and you don't know what it means, there is no way you can understand a written text in the book if you don't know the word and what it means. But again, because that word has multiple meanings, you can understand the subject of discussion, and then you can understand the meaning pertaining to that cycle of conversation. But if you just come with just one intention and say, no, here this thing only means this, it cannot mean this, then you have a problem. For instance, take the word cut, the kata, to cut, or kita. You remember when Pharaoh told the magicians that he will cut their hand and legs on opposite, alternative sides? He used the word kata, to cut, right? This same group among the Quran alone followers, they will now go to Quran chapter 5, verse 30, 38, 39, and then they will tell you there that kata there doesn't mean cut. These same people, they will say it doesn't mean amputation. Over there, it means something else. It means, just take away their money. Don't cut. It doesn't mean cut. But when it comes to Pharaoh, you will say cut. So this is the game of semantic they play. But like I said, these are the kind of discussions I would love to have to people like that and have direct conversation with them, dialogue with them. so that the world can get to see the loopholes in that type of logic. Okay, let's go to the point here. In Quran chapter 19 verse 26, let me share the screen. Quran chapter 19 verse 26, it says, فَكُلِي وَاشْرَبِي وَقَرِّي عَيْنًا. Then he says, فَإِمَّا تَرَيِنَّ مِنَ الْبَشَرِ أَحَدًا فَقُولِي إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ صَوْمًا. That is sawma. Then he says, فَلَنْ أُكَلِّمَ الْيَوْمَ إِنسِيًّا. He says, so eat and drink and entertain the eyes, and if you see anyone among humans, then say, indeed, I have pledged an abstinence to the gracious. So I will never speak to a human today. Now let me give you the logic here. Listen to the point here. Among the Quran followers, some people will take Quran chapter 19 verse 26, then they will base this logic here and say, no, Siyam doesn't mean it doesn't mean abstaining from food and drink. So they will quote that, look, Maryam ate and drank. But now let's check the context, understand well what is meant by what was told to Maryam. We are going to use the logic of some of the Quran alone followers who say chapter 19 verse 26 does not mean to abstain from food and drink, right? Okay, let's use their logic. Now, when you start from above, it says, so shake the trunk of the date palm before you, a fresh harvest will light upon you. Now, this fresh harvest, it means she has to eat and drink, because we have people among Quran alone followers who will tell you that kulu washrabu doesn't mean eat and drink. They will say it doesn't mean eat and drink. No, you are not going to eat and drink food. It's not talking about food, and it doesn't talk about eating and drinking. So now, Quran chapter 19, when you start from verse 25, coming down, it's talking about food, first of all. But what you fail to realize, it doesn't talk about the timeline, the time of the day. This was happening. But for the interesting part, so eat and drink and entertain the eyes. Just as in Quran chapter 2, verse 187, God says, eat and drink. But then he told us the time of the night. But he mentioned the word siyam above. But here it is mentioned sawma. As a verb. Okay. And if you see anyone among humans, listen carefully, then say, now you see she's going to talk. She is going to use her mouth to talk. If this abstinence, the sawm she's going to pledge, if actually she has pledged not to talk, if it's about abstaining from talking, then why did God tell her to say? Hello? If it is abstaining from talking. Because I heard some of the Quran alone followers say the sawm means not to talk, to avoid talking. What? To avoid talking to who? Look, God says, and if you see anyone among humans, then say. God didn't say she should signal. Then say, indeed, I have pledged an abstinence. So, because she has already eaten and drank. Because in Siyam, you eat and drink before you hold up the fasting. You eat and drink before you do Siyam. If you read Quran chapter 2, verse 187, eat and drink came before wa'atimu siyam ila layl came. So now she ate and drank. After that, now God told her what she's going to do because of the miracle. Because of Isa, she has to take him to the family and Isa has to speak. That is why God was telling her this. But it doesn't mean Siyam or Sawm is about abstaining from talking. Because then why did God ask her to say? Okay, say, indeed, listen to the words God is giving her. Indeed, I have pledged an abstinence, the psalm, to the gracious, because we do the psalm for God. I have pledged an abstinence to God, to the gracious. So I will never speak to a human today. That's only what she said. I will never speak to a human doesn't mean that is the meaning of the siyam or psalm. So the problem we have with some of the Quran alone followers, then this is where they base their argument. Then they will say, okay, you see here, if you read the context, it's telling you that no, it has nothing to do with eat and abstaining from what? God already mentioned drink, eat and drink before mentioning the word psalm. Why just isolate it and say no, it doesn't mean? So the word psalm, what does it mean? Hello, we're asking you, what does it mean? It means abstinence. That's what it means. So in Quran chapter 2, verse 187, you are abstaining from food, drink, and other sexual activities. So that's still the siyam, abstinence. So when you read 27, so she brought him, that is Isa, to her kindred, carrying him. They said, "O Mary, you have suddenly came up with something unprecedented. O sister of Aaron, your father was not a bad man, nor was your mother a whore." Now, also in chapter 19, verse 28, you see a lot of the Christians and the pagans quoting this verse and say, "Oh, look, how can Aaron be? And who told you that is the Aaron of Moses? And who told you that Maryam is the sister of Moses? Come and show us in the Quran where God says this Maryam is the sister of Moses. Come and show us in the Quran where God says this Aaron mentioned here is the brother of Moses." Why are people fooling themselves like this? So Sister Aisha is asking, is there a difference between psalm and siyam? They are the word usage. Use as a psalm is a verb. Use as a siyam is a noun. Right? So siyam is a noun, while psalm is a verb. Aha. So they come from each other. But when a word is used as a verb, it can have a different usage compared to when it is used as a noun. That's the difference. If you read Quran chapter 19, verse 26, and you say, does it include abstaining from talking? Then why did God ask her to say? The first people she met on her way going home, she was asked to tell them her intentions, what she has pledged. Right? But if she is not going to talk, and then people are trying to say the psalm means do not talk to anybody, there's a problem. For instance, there are things God mentioned in the Quran, mahid, the word menstruation. The word menstruation, mahid. If you check the word mahid in the Quran, nowhere does it say that mahid, this is what it does. It brings blood, is this, is this. No, there's no description like that. So when God mentioned mahid, you, the sound and intelligent person, you look up the meaning of mahid, and then you put it into the context and subject and context. Then you understand it's talking about menstruation. Do you see the point here? So then you already know what menstruation is about. This is how it works. It's a language. The language has events and phenomena being described. So it goes with words. So it is the words you take to understand what it means. Do you understand? For instance, I'm giving an example. I'm based in Finland, right? Just like any other language, Finnish language is also a language where they have vocabularies, they have words. When you take the words, you learn the meaning of the words so that you know how to use them in a sentence. You can't learn sentence before you go and learn meaning of the words. It's illogical. So you learn the meaning of words before you learn how to form sentences. Do you see how it works? So if I see people saying they are approaching the Quran and telling me that, oh, I'm just going to read the context and understand, are you a fool? How did you first of all understand the language before reading the context? Did you read it in Arabic to just get the context? How did you get the meaning? Hello? So words have meanings. You don't concoct your own meanings. You take all the meanings, then you understand the subject of discussion, so you fit it into the context, the right meaning into the context. That is how you understand a sentence in every language. So if somebody just tell me, I'll just read the Quran and get the context, I'll put you to the test. I'll give you Finnish language, right? Yes, I'll give you Finnish language. And I'll give you text in Finnish language. And I'll tell you to translate in English. You can never get it right if you haven't been taught. You will never get it right. If you are a foreigner and I give you Finnish language, I give you text. I can give you a particular text in Finnish language and I tell you translate it for me. I can even give you dictionary. You will never get it right. I'm serious. I'm not joking with you. You will never get it right. It will never make sense when you translate it to English, because you have to be taught how to use the vocabularies, the words. So you understand how to utilize the meanings of the words. So then you know this word is for this, and that word is for that, and that meaning is for this, and that meaning is for that. Exactly. A monologue says similar with Old English. Exactly. Like the Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. Similar like that. So those people having this kind of confusions, exactly. Imran, I got that. This point was very legit. It's very good. He says, guys, simply Maryam made a pledge. She made a pledge to God, right? That she's going to do the psalm. That's a different from the siyam God has actually stipulated for the believers to do. So when God used the word kutiba alaykum siyam kama kutiba ala lazina, it talks about people, believers. It's not just telling you Maryam, only Maryam did. So you see some of the Quran alone followers going to Maryam only, chapter 19, verse 26, and say, look, Maryam did it this way. So it means we also have to abstain from talking. Hey, seriously, you abstain from talking from how many days? 1 day. So the Siyam is for 1 day. See, oh my God. What did I miss? I've done 2 hours, 5 minutes. Let me see. When you read Quran chapter 2, verse 222, yeah, you see the notion of menstruation there. Somebody is asking, does menstruation stop woman from fasting? That is only if she feels like it is making her sick. Some women, when they have menstruation, they feel sick. Salam Muhammad Junior Butler. Some women, when they have menstruation, they feel sick. So if she feels like she's sick, fine, she has to abstain from the Siyam. But if she feels like she's okay, she can do the fasting. Nothing wrong with that. There's no restriction. Right? If she feels like she will suffer, then she just needs to ransom by feeding the poor person. That's it. Balogun, I don't get your point. You said what is the actual time range of what? It starts from the sighting of the crescent. You start calculating. From the time you see the waxing crescent, you start counting the days of your fasting till the day you see the waning crescent. That's it. You're done with your Siyam. Because the crescents are used for the timing device. That's the phases of the moon. You use it to know when to start something and where to finish. Exactly. Seraton says, chapter 17, verse 36 is great reason why you should scrutinize anything that comes to our ears, eyes, and mind. Yes, exactly. Somebody is asking that, so has the Quran started being sent down in one Ramadan, or has it been revealed every year, step by step, always on Ramadan? According to Quran, let me see, Quran chapter 25, verse 32. In Quran chapter 25, verse 32, this is what it says. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَوْلَا نُزِّلَ عَلَيْهِ الْقُرْآنُ جُمْلَةً وَاحِدَةً. Then it says, كَذَلِكَ لِنُثَبِّتَ بِهِ فُؤَادَكَ وَرَتَّلْنَاهُ تَرْتِيلًا. And those who disbelieve say, why was the Quran not revealed to him all at once? Then God says, that's so that we may reinforce your mind with it, and we have intoned it with chanting. Then again, chapter 17, verse 106. It says, وَقُرْآنًا فَرَقْنَاهُ لِتَقْرَأَهُ عَلَى النَّاسِ عَلَى مُكْثٍ وَنَزَّلْنَاهُ تَنزِيلًا. Together with a reading, a Quran, which we have separated, so that you may read it to the people in order to remain, to stay. And we have revealed it as a revelation. So the Quran keep coming to him as a revelation. It doesn't mean it came all at once in one night or one day. No. He was revealed to him, but then it's a gradual process. So not all at once. That is the answer to that question. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing the topic to an end on Facebook and YouTube. I'm jumping to TikTok. Yeah, so you are welcome to join on TikTok. Thank you very much, Imran Khan. I appreciate the support. Alhaji Al Mahmoud Salam, you are welcome. BM8C7 says, when does one start fasting? You start, I don't get, your question is not clear. It's not clear enough. You mean when in a day, whether you start fasting from dawn time, right? From Fajr. You start doing the fasting till night time. Then you break the fast. Aha. Sharif Karim says, Baba, does celebrating Laylatul Qadr forms part of the Quranic teaching? Nowhere in the Quran did God ever say we should establish something called Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr is only defining to you the blessed or the blessing of that night that God decided to reveal the Quran. So that is why Quran chapter 97 verse 1, it says, Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. So the Quran was revealed in the night of destiny. That night of destiny is better than almost 83 years of your life, because God has revealed guidance, which is the book of guidance, to us. So the value of let's use the word an average. Let me use hypothetically, an average person might live up to 83 years in life, averagely. So now the value of this book God has sent for guidance is better than these 83 years of your life, 1,000 months. You understand? So God is describing to us the benefits or the reward as to what the decision he made to reveal the Quran. So when you read Surah Al-Dukhan, chapter 44, read from verse 1 to verse 6, it will all make sense to you why God stipulated it as a blessed night, right? Because of the decision to reveal the Quran. But it doesn't say get up in the night and pray and ask for God for anything. Quran chapter 2, verse 186. God is with you. He's near. If you pray, he listens. So there's nothing special for you to get up, say, I'm looking for a little Qadr and this. No. No such thing. Somebody says, why do you continue on TikTok and not on YouTube? Because on YouTube, the way it is, I can't do a long version of video there. You understand? YouTube is a platform I prefer to have a limited time where people can actually sit down and enjoy the lectures as a lecture. I don't want it to be when it's very long, it's depressing and boring to watch. You understand? So I hop on TikTok. So TikTok, I can be there for hours. Yes, I can do that because TikTok allows it. But YouTube, they have a limit of the length of video you can actually do in a live session. Somebody's asking, sorry, my bad. I mean, at what age does fasting become obligatory? Fasting is only stipulated for believers. Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba alal lazina min qablikum. Quran chapter 2 verse 183. So as long as a person becomes matured and they feel like they can do it, that's it. There's no age limit where it says, oh, somebody has to be 7, 10 years or no. Anybody who feels like they want to do it, so far as they can stand up to it, they are in the right conscience and they are believers, that's up to it. That's for them. No age limit. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Sister Dr. Aisha Musa, Imran Khan, S. Faraj, Sharif Karim. Thank you all. Solo Music, Bilal Jibril, Balogun. Masiu says what? It's not a matter of mandatory, but what was the purpose of Hazrat Maryam's Siyam? Read the context, you see the purpose. Read the context of the verses. Start from chapter 19, verse 16, and read downwards up to verse 36. You get the purpose there. When she made a pledge. So the pledge she made is also classified as Siyam. Yes, as Sawm. Right? And it's just for one day. Whatever she pledged there. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I have to bounce now. Go into TikTok. And I might have to finish earlier today because I have to eat before time gets up here. So I have like 3 hours to finish eating, to eat my final food. So let's see how long I can stay on TikTok. Then we meet again, inshallah, next week, God willing. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for those on. Somebody says, what dictionary do you recommend? You can go to almani.com. Almani.com, I would suggest that because they use a lot of the classical Arabic dictionary words there. Almani is a very good website you can get. So I recommend that. Thank you very much, guys. Ramadan Mubarak to all. Have a blessed Ramadan, and we meet again. If you're willing to join TikTok, you're welcome. So let's enjoy. So this is where I bring the topic to an end till we meet again. And thank you. I saw somebody made a donation to the GoFundMe. Thank you very much. Is it GoFund or something? God bless you for the donation. And also thank you to Alpha Music for the gift he sent me. I appreciate that. God bless you. And also for those who sent me the gift on TikTok and as well as on YouTube, Mandated Maro, Mr. Popo, Abdul Adam. Thank you all for the gift. I appreciate that. God bless you. God bless you. May God reward you generously. I appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I bring the topic to an end till we meet again. God bless you all. Peace out.